And next up, we have Jason Snell, and we're, let's see, we decided to do slides from this laptop and then change.
Yeah.
All right, I'll let you take it from here.
Thank you.
All right, my name's Jason Snell. I'm from Cedar Rapids. I grew up there. And I am an artist who mixes 3 different threads in my life. Since 1995, I've produced electronic music, so techno and different types of experimental electronic music. In 1996, I learned to meditate, and so that's a big part of my practice. And then as far back as 1989, there were some gaps, but I started computer programming. It was like with an old Tandy computer, MS-DOS. So my work today combines those 3 different disciplines. Oh, same thing. So the electronic music very much was about emotional survival. So I was an angsty teen, I think most teens are, and I was able to get through those years by channeling pain and angst and confusion, and just, you know, being a human on this planet can be difficult. And so I made this music that it's called digital hardcore. So it's using drum machines and synthesizers and distortion pedals and having these really intense performances. Over the years, I did 180 performances, 16 full albums, 33 EPs and singles, and 45 compilation appearances. So it was very prolific in that field. And this was at Gabe's in Iowa City in 1999. After a few decades of producing electronic music and experimenting with genre, I started building my own tools to create electronic music. And this was an iPhone app I developed between 2009 and 2014. And essentially it ended up like a robot bandmate where it would produce the notes, and then I would choose the sounds and modulate them in real time. And the more I used this app, the more it would make music that sounded like me. I used it for a couple of years, and then the algorithm, this AI music making thing, got on a record label that I'd been trying to get on for the last 15 years. So I thought maybe I'll stop working with this robot because it's beating me at my own art. And instead I started working with humans again, which I've been delighted to do. So the next step in experimentation with how to make music is I was working with dancers. And so I'd put motion sensors. You can see this dancer, he has a motion sensor on a wrist and then one on his ankle. And the motion of the dancer would be transformed into sound. And so normally dancers have to dance to music. This was an opportunity for them to become the composer themselves. So as they moved, sounds would happen. As they stopped, the sound would stop. And what I saw from afar, you know, I would do the technical setup for them, but they were the performer, was this feedback loop where they had this really strong sense of empowerment because they were then in control of the music as it was coming out of the speakers. And that was my first time observing how powerful this feedback loop is with technology and sensors. And that led into brainwave music, mind music. And I used a lot of the technology I learned from motion sensors and making music from motion to start working with brainwave sensing headbands. And so I'm using my brain to make music. So I started with the app, which was algorithms generating music, and then dance was generating the music, and then it's my brainwaves generating the music. So it was very sci-fi. I was a fan of comic books when I was a kid, and the idea of telepathy and telekinesis. And so it was like, if I can make music with my brain, this is, you know, a dream come true. My first tour with this is in 2019. And I called it telekinetic techno because the idea was, can I do a full performance without touching anything? Just doing things in my brain and essentially DJing with my mind. And so going from song to song and being able to modulate the effects and the EQ and to shape the music. So based on what my mind was doing, that would influence and manipulate the music in real time. And something unexpected happened on this tour. What I originally was doing just out of sheer curiosity, at some of these shows, I started to have these really profound experiences of getting into these very deep trance states or moving up into these states of complete ecstasy, like 100% sober, but just at awe of the universe and being alive and being in a human existence. And so I saw there was something really powerful happening spiritually, psychologically, of having this feedback loop where my brain could shape the sound and then it would hear it and that would influence it. And so it created this feedback loop and really had these profoundly beautiful experiences, and that solidified my commitment to this particular phenomenon. I started doing these biofeedback sound baths where I would wear sensors, and then I was also using heart rate sensors. So my heartbeat and my brain waves would shape the music in the room. And other people were invited to close their eyes and lie down and go on this journey with me. So as I would descend into a meditative state, other people, their minds and bodies tended to sync up with mine, and they would also go down into a deep trance or meditative state. And people would have these creative breakthroughs, kind of emotional resolution, kind of in between this state of dreaming and waking. So it was these really deep experiences. It was very womb-like because my heartbeat was coming out of a subwoofer, like a low bass sound out of a big speaker, and people felt very cocooned. This is a photo of one of those sound baths. And then something I did last year at PS1 in Iowa City, that was the pilot of it, was instead of myself wearing the brainwave sensor, I would have other people wear the brainwave sensors, and their brains would compose the sheet music, which would be sent into my computer, and then I would modulate the sounds and effects in real time. So in a way, I was playing music from their brains. So it's this really interesting blurring of line of authorship. Like, is it my song? Is it their song? Is it a group phenomenon coming out of this type of arrangement? And with the Iowa Arts Fellowship, what I'm doing is chronicling and detailing these experiences I've had, these really powerful experiences of musical neurofeedback or brainwave music, and putting it into a format that is easy to understand. If someone has a sensor, they can do these practices on their own. It'll be an app, so I'm using the term book kind of loosely. It's 2025 and I haven't read a book in like 5 years, so to be able to engage with a digital platform where they can learn about these phenomenon and to start to experience it themselves. And so I'm building up that this year with the fellowship. And lucky us, I will do a live demo. So I actually have a brainwave sensor here. All right, so this is the sensor, and it detects both my brain waves and my heartbeat. So I put it on, I turn it on. And then I'll connect to it. Great. Let's see what it sounds like. I was nervous. So thank you, everyone. And just a huge thank you to the Iowa Arts Council and the Iowa Economic Development Authority. Just the opportunity to be an Iowa Arts Fellow is really a privilege of a career, so thank you.